Welcome to the Daily Vibecasting. Today, Anthropic bets the entire global economy on a country of geniuses, ByteDance accidentally proved Hollywood is obsolete, and we find out why cooking eggs might be the most exciting hardware breakthrough of the year.
It is a wild one today. We are looking at financial risks that make the 2008 crisis look like a rounding error, and frankly, the sheer scale of the gamble is just terrifying.
Absolutely. Let's dive straight into the lead story because it is dominating every single feed in tech. We're talking about the economics of AGI, and specifically a viral interview that dropped between Dwarkesh Patel, that's handle at Dwarkesh, and the CEO of Anthropic, Dario Amodei.
And this isn't just some casual chat. This is like a roadmap for the next 3 years of human history. Usually CEOs try to temper expectations, right?
Sure, under promise, over deliver.
Amodei is doing the exact opposite.
Right. The headline quote that everyone is sharing is his prediction on AGI. He is saying we could see systems equivalent to a country of geniuses in just 1 to 3 years.
1 to 3, not 10.
Not 10. He's talking about verifiable coding breakthroughs happening, very, very soon.
Let's just pause on that phrase for a second. A country of geniuses. He doesn't mean a really smart chatbot.
No.
He means a digital entity that has the collective output, the creativity, the problem-solving capability of a nation of PhDs on tap. 204/7. That's the bull case to end all bull cases.
It sounds incredible, but this is where it gets fascinating and really dangerous.
Yeah.
A user at ChatGPT-21 clipped a segment that highlights the math behind this. So Amodei is projecting Anthropic's revenue to hit $9 or $10 billion annually before 2030.
Okay, which sounds like a massive success story. $10 billion is huge for a software company.
It sounds huge until you look at the cost of entry. This is that second-order effect we always talk about.
Right.
To get from $10 billion revenue to $1 trillion, which is the growth curve they are betting on, they need capital expenditure commitments of up to $5 trillion.
$5 trillion. That's the GDP of a major world power. That's more than Germany.
Exactly. And Amodei admits it's an unhedgeable risk. It is, and I'm quoting, profit or death. If their growth lags even slightly, say they only hit $800 billion instead of $1 trillion, the company goes bankrupt.
So there's no middle ground?
None. The infrastructure costs are so high that you either become the dominant intelligence on Earth or you are completely insolvent.
And this is what people really need to get. This isn't like building an app where if it fails, you just lose a few million in venture capital.
Not at all.
This requires building power plants, data centers the size of small cities, and entire manufacturing supply chains that don't even exist yet. If the AI doesn't work perfectly, or if adoption is just good instead of transformative, the debt service alone just crushes the entire ecosystem.
A completely binary outcome.
Yeah.
The stakes could not be higher. But, while Anthropic is trying to build these digital minds, there is this whole counter-narrative emerging about the humans building the physical world.
Oh, this connects to that post from at r0 CK23T, right?
Yes. Dustin shared a clip of Catherine Boyle from A16Z, and she made this really provocative point about Elon Musk. She said his most important contribution isn't the cars or the rockets.
What is it then?
It's that he retrained 2 generations of engineers to handle physical reality.
I love this point. For 20 years, the smartest people went into software to, optimize ad clicks. They lived in a world of zero marginal cost. If your code breaks, you just push a patch.
Right.
Boyle is saying Musk forced engineers to relearn welding, fracturing, manufacturing tolerances, actual physics.
Because you can't debug a rocket mid-flight with a software patch.
Precisely. If a rocket has a tolerance error of 1 millimeter, it explodes. There's no undo button in manufacturing. And if you look at the alumni from SpaceX and Tesla, they've founded over 100 hard tech firms. They're rebuilding the American industrial edge.
But here's the irony, right? We have Anthropic needing $5 trillion in compute. That requires data centers, energy, cooling.
Exactly. We're retraining engineers to build the physical infrastructure that the AI needs to potentially bankrupt us. It's a perfect circular economy. The country of geniuses needs a country of welders to build its house.
You can't run a superintelligence on a laptop.
You need gigawatts of power.
It really frames the next decade as a race between code and concrete. And that is a perfect transition to our next segment, tech and innovation. Because if the macro view is about trillion-dollar bets, the micro view is about how the actual work of coding is changing. And it is looking intense.
Intense is a polite way to put it. We are seeing the rise of the industrialized coder. The era of the artisan developer, sitting in a dark room crafting elegant algorithms is effectively over.
Okay, let's look at the tools first. At OpenBMB just dropped Mini CPMO 4.5. They're calling it native full duplex.
Okay, so for the listeners who aren't audio engineers, what does full duplex mean here?
So most voice assistants today are half duplex. You talk, you stop, it thinks, it talks back. Full duplex means it doesn't take turns. It sees, listens, and speaks all at once in one continuous stream.
And this runs locally on a PC?
On a consumer PC. The demo is wild. It's identifying cards, narrating drawings, scanning prices without pausing, even if you interrupt it.
It creates a much more fluid, human-like interaction. But the real disruption is in the workflow. I mean, look at Klein launching Klein CLI 2.0.
The agent that lives in your terminal.
Right. It handles parallel coding tasks, headless CI/CD pipelines. It's not just a chatbot anymore, it's an automated coworker.
So what does this mean for the human developer? I saw a post from at Hestimation that had a really insightful take on this. He said coding isn't about writing code anymore. It's about management.
That is the key shift. He says you have to let go. You stop obsessing over variable names or the specific syntax. You're just managing a team of AI agents.
So if you're a software engineer today,
congratulations, you're now middle management. You just point the agents at a problem, they write the code, run the tests, fix the bugs, you just sign off on it.
It sounds efficient. But if the job is just managing agents, why does the training look so brutal? I saw a post from Austin, that's Austin Allred, that honestly looked like a scene from a sci-fi dystopia.
The Gauntlet AI program, yeah, I saw that.
Yes. He's offering free housing and food in Austin, laundry service, everything. But the catch, you work 100 hours a week for 10 weeks.
100 hours to get a $200,000 job? It's a very, very stark transaction.
Right. He's calling it a fellowship, but the video. It's intense. I mean, group collaborations, extreme focus. People are practically living at their desks.
It's a sweatshop for the mind. Look, I get the appeal. If you want to be elite, you have to grind. But there is a cynical angle here.
Which is?
We're grinding these humans to dust working them 100 hours a week to build the very systems that are designed to replace the need for human coding in the first place. We're sprinting toward our own obsolescence.
It's like we're trying to automate ourselves out of existence before we burn out. And it's not just coding. Even our downtime is getting automated. Did you see the post from at Eliotarlage?
The XCLay tool.
Yeah. A command line interface for X. You can automate your posting, your bookmarks, everything from the terminal.
So now even doom scrolling is a scripted, automated task.
Pretty much.
We are optimizing the humanity right out of our daily lives. I mean, if your AI agent is talking to my AI agent on Twitter, are we even having a conversation? Or is it just dead internet theory coming true?
That's a valid question. And speaking of optimizing humanity out of the picture, let's talk about Hollywood. Because if coders are stressed, actors and directors should be panicking.
This is our culture and society segment, and honestly, panic is the right word. The barriers to entry for high-end video production just evaporated.
We're talking about ByteDance. The parent company of TikTok released and then very quickly restricted a tool called Seedance 2.0.
This story is wild because it shows the gap between what is technically possible and what is, legal.
So at Preteen 2005 and at Fraser X shared some of the outputs, people were creating these insane anime battles, like Goku fighting a kung fu master that looked completely professional.
And there was a live-action version of Attack on Titan.
Yeah. They're calling it fan cinema. It's no longer fan fiction, it's fully realized cinema.
And crucially, it's good. The quality is startling. At Uchen's UW pointed out that this model handles temporal consistency perfectly.
What does that mean exactly?
It means characters don't just morph into blobs halfway through a scene. If a character is wearing a specific jacket in the first second, they're still wearing it in the 10th second. It's coherent.
But here comes the hammer drop.
Yeah.
ByteDance suspended the features almost immediately.
And why? Because people started generating Disney characters and deepfakes of celebrities. The Hollywood cease and desist letters must have flown faster than the speed of light.
I can only imagine.
Absolutely. But look at the geopolitical context here. At Yushin UW noted that this is a model from a Chinese lab. This isn't OpenAI or Google playing nice with U.S. copyright law. This is a tool that democratizes directing, but completely destroys intellectual property protections. U.S. copyright law stops at the border. If a server in Beijing generates a perfect Mickey Mouse movie, what can Disney actually do about it?
That is the absolute nightmare scenario for the studios. And it's not just big action movies. I saw it, Yuan Glu shared a video of a fluffy Bichon Fry's dog studying at a desk.
Oh, I saw that. It was adorable.
It was cute, lighting was perfect. Even the haters, as they said, loved it.
And that's the trap. It starts with cute dogs, and then suddenly at 11 Labzio launches something called 11 Creative.
Oh, that was the other big story. They showcased a tool where marketing teams can do a full campaign video, sound, speech, music in under a day.
In under a day. Just think about what that does to the industry. If you can generate a studio-quality ad campaign in 6 hours with one person and an AI, what happens to the ad agencies, the sound engineers, the lighting crews?
And what happens to the movie stars?
That's the cynical conclusion here. Hollywood is cooked. If content becomes infinite and cheap, and if everyone is a director, then scarcity value disappears. If I can prompt a movie starring a better version of Brad Pitt, why do I need the real Brad Pitt?
It's a sobering thought. If everyone is special, no one is.
Exactly. We're moving from a scarcity economy of media to an abundance economy. And in economics, when supply goes to infinity, price goes to zero.
Okay, let's take a breath. We've covered economic cliffs, coding sweatshops, and the death of cinema. Let's calibrate our vibes with some real-world news. Actual physical atoms.
Please, I need something tangible. Give me something I can touch.
Let's start with space. At NASA's Box reported that Crew 12 launched successfully to the ISS, and they're prepping Artemis II for a moon mission.
See, this is reassuring. People in metal tubes going to space. That is real risk, real engineering. It's not a simulation.
And on the commercial side, Starlink just hit 10 million active customers. They're in 160 countries now.
Now, compare that to the AI bubble we started with. Starlink has 10 million people paying actual fiat currency for a service that exists today. That's
Wow.
real revenue.
It is.
It's not a $5 trillion bet on a maybe. It's an internet connection. It works.
It's tangible utility.
Wow.
But speaking of utility, this might be my favorite story of the day. It's from @Stamico at Impulse Labs.
The egg.
The egg. They have figured out how to make eggs non-stick on stainless steel. No Teflon, no chemicals.
It's the Leidenfrost effect.
Okay, explain that for us.
So if you get a pan to a very specific temperature, around 373 degrees Fahrenheit, and you drop moisture onto it, the water instantly vaporizes. It creates a tiny layer of steam.
So the egg floats on it?
The egg literally floats on that cushion of steam. It's like an air hockey table for your breakfast. And Impulse Labs built a stove that holds that temperature perfectly.
Which is usually the hard part.
Exactly. Your pan gets too hot or too cold, their sensors lock it in, so you can fry an egg, slide it around like it's on ice, and there's zero chemical coating involved.
You have to appreciate the irony here. We are 3 years away from a digital country of geniuses that might bankrupt the global economy.
Right.
But the most immediately useful breakthrough of the week is finally being able to fry an egg without scrubbing the pan for 20 minutes.
Sometimes it is the simple things, right? You can't eat a large language model. You can't live inside a neural network. At the end of the day, physics wins.
True. So what does this all mean? We've got AI scaling to infinity, Hollywood under siege, and high-tech frying pans. What are you looking at for tomorrow?
My prediction is legal warfare. We saw ByteDance pull those features back, but the cat is out of the bag. I think we're going to see a massive, messy legal battle between the U.S. studios, Disney, Warner Bros., and these Chinese AI labs. It's going to be copyright law versus geopolitical borders. And frankly, I don't think the studios can win this one. The tech just moves faster than the courts.
That's a good call. My prediction is on the labor side. I think we're going to see a surge in one-person ad agencies. With tools like 11 Creative and Seedance, you're going to have individual creators outpacing traditional firms that are bogged down in meetings. The industrialized coder model is going to bleed into the industrialized creative. We're going to see 19-year-olds running agencies that used to require 50 people.
Efficiency eats everything. If you aren't leveraging these tools, you're competing with someone who is.
It certainly does. Well, that's all the time we have for today. A lot to process, from the $5 trillion gamble to the perfect fried egg.
Keep your eyes on the data centers, and maybe buy a stainless steel pan.
Sound advice. Keep your vibes calibrated. We'll see you on the wire.